The Strange Elder Grandson, The Curse of the Shadow Realm. Chapter 1 The Interweaving of the Ordinary and the Weird. In the early morning in the countryside, the sun shines on the blue stone road, accompanied by the crowing of chickens and the barking of dogs, and everything seems to be calm and peaceful. Chen Sun wore an ordinary grey shirt and walked out of the house on the morning dew. He always thought he was an ordinary person, born in an inconspicuous peasant family. But for as long as he can remember, there has always been an indescribable strange atmosphere in the house. His grandmother often said that he was born with a strange fate. On every full moon night, he would wake up for no reason and hear invisible whispers. Although the villagers were in awe of his home, they also stayed away from Sanfen. Chen Sun had never delved into these visions until that night. Chapter 2 The Night of the Netherworld, The Forbidden Call. It was the 15th day of the 7th lunar month, the night with the heaviest yin energy. Chen Sun was lying on the bed, and suddenly felt a cold air rushing up from the solace of his feet, and the room was instantly shrouded in cold darkness. He opened his eyes and saw a pair of dark green eyes flickering in the darkness. Ancestor. Grandmother. His voice trembled, but the room was empty. Suddenly, intermittent whispers sounded in his ears, the mystery of the bloodline, the unsealing of the taboo, the secret of the ancestral heirloom, will eventually be revealed. In horror, he felt a force pouring into his body, and there seemed to be countless thin threads stirring in his body, tightly connected to his bloodline. Chapter 3 The Hidden Giants, The Shadow Behind the Taoist Valve. The next day, Chen Sun decided to ask his grandmother. Grandmother looked solemn and took him into the secret basement of the house. In the basement, Chen Sun saw the ancient scrolls passed down from the family and the altar carved with strange runes. You don't know, you are the eldest grandson of the Chen family, and the Chen family is a wealthy family that has been hidden in this land for a long time. Grandmother said. Our family controls the power of yin and yang, guarding the secrets of the village, but at the same time bearing curses and blood contracts. The grandmother tells a history of the Chen family's contract with the dark ancient god Nether Shadow. And Chen Sun's strange fate is the bloodline mark of this contract. Chapter 4 The Awakening of Strange Fate, The Test of Bloodline Power. With the guidance of his grandmother, Chen Sun began to try to channel the strange power in his body. He could feel the intertwined energy of yin and yang, sometimes dispelling illusions, sometimes being swallowed up by terrifying visions. He can even see the secrets hidden by the people in the village. The souls of villagers who have been dead for many years are hovering and cannot rest in peace. Ancient trees in the deep mountains hide evil spirits, the ancient well in the town hides sealed ghosts. However, this power not only brings protection, but also leads to a deeper crisis. Chapter 5 The mystery begins to appear, a strange event in the depths of the village. There have been bizarre disappearances in the village in recent days, and the old man said that the shadow of the ghost was foraging. Chen Sun and his friend Zheng Yu stepped into the depths of the forest and found an ancient altar covered with vines. Next to the altar are engraved mysterious runes, exuding a suffocating cold aura. They met a mysterious man in black who called himself the Shadow Envoy and warned them not to delve deeper. However, Chen Sun knew that the truth was far darker than he imagined. Chapter 6 The Conspiracy is Exposed, The Shocking Secret Behind the Blood Contract. Chen Sun investigated deeply and gradually uncovered the truth about the family curse. It turned out that the Chen family had reached a blood contract with the Netherworld Shadow hundreds of years ago in exchange for eternal protection, and was the strongest heir in the sacrificial bloodline. This pact has already engulfed the entire village in endless darkness. What's even more shocking is that the patriarch of the village is actually the embodiment of the shadow of the ghost, controlling the fate of the people in the village. Chen Sun vowed to break this blood contract and save the village from suffering. Chapter 7 Surrounded by Strange Shadows, The Outbreak of a Supernatural War. Chen Sun gathered a small number of determined young people in the village to launch an operation against the shadow of the ghost. He used the power of deception to set up a formation and engage in a fierce battle with the Nether Shadow Legion. Ghosts, evil spirits, and shadowy creatures emerge in the forest, making the battle situation eerie and unpredictable. On the verge of life and death, Chen Sun was tempted by the shadow of the ghost several times and almost fell victim to the blood contract. But he sticks to his beliefs and finally finds the key to breaking the contract, the light seal left by his ancestors. Chapter 8 The Seal of Light, the final blow to break the curse. In a thrilling altar duel, Chen Sun raised the light seal and emitted a dazzling holy light. The nether shadow roared violently, and the darkness began to disintegrate. Calm gradually returned to the village, and the souls of the missing were laid to rest. The power of fate turned into the light of protection, and Chen Sun transformed from an ordinary boy into a guardian. His grandmother looked at him with a smile, saying, "You have finally completed your mission." Chapter 9 The Dawn of New Life, the Future of the Eldest Grandson. After breaking the curse, the village ushered in unprecedented prosperity. Chen Sun became a hero in everyone's hearts, but he understood that darkness would never disappear. He decided to continue to cultivate the power of deception and protect the peace of this land. One morning, he stood at the entrance of the village, looking at the morning light, and silently thought to himself, "This is just the beginning." Chapter 10 The Dark Tide is surging, the awakening of the ancient shadow. After breaking the curse, the village seemed to usher in a new life, but Chen Sun's heart was not really relaxed. That night, in his dream, he saw the shadow fragments of the remnants of the netherworld shadow transform into a huge blackbird, hovering over the village, staring at him. When he woke up from the dream, he found that there was an additional imprint on his wrist, and the dark red rune glowed faintly. Grandmother said in surprise, "That's the seal of shadow, and the indestructible dark power still haunts you." Chen Sun realized that the power of the nether shadow had not disappeared, but had entered another form, waiting to regroup. Chapter 11 The Secret Organization, the Dark Deal of the Shadow Soul Society. Strangers came to the village, dressed in black robes, their faces covered by hoods, and claimed to be members of the Shadow Soul Society. They knew the shadow seal in Chen Sun's body and proposed a deal, exchange power to help him completely control the strange bloodline. But the price is to join them and become a servant of the shadow forces. Chen Sun refused, but then found that many people in the village had been controlled by the Shadow Soul Society and began to secretly destroy the peace of the village. So, he decided to work with his friend Zhang Yu and his grandmother to expose the conspiracy of the Shadow Soul Society. Chapter 12 Night Tracking, Strange Hunting in the Misty Forest. Chen Sun led the team to infiltrate the nearby Misty Forest, a secret gathering place for the Shadow Soul Society. In the thick fog, there were strange creatures shuttling dexterously, and ghostly figures appeared and disappeared. Deep in the forest, they discover that the shadow spirits are performing a mysterious ritual in an attempt to awaken the ancient Ghost King, the Shadow Lord. The ritual altar is made of hundreds of skeletons engraved with cursed runes, exuding a mournful wail. Chen Sun decided to destroy the altar and prevent the Shadow Lord from awakening. Chapter 13 The Clash of Yin and Yang, the ultimate showdown between the deceit and the shadow. In front of the altar, Chen Sun and the president of the Shadow Soul Society, Black Demon, engaged in a fierce battle. Haisha has a strange figure and can control shadows and summon countless ghosts to attack. Chen Sun used the power of the shadow seal to fuse the light seal taught by his grandmother, and the two forces collided and fused in his body. The energy of both sides exploded, shaking the entire forest. In the end, Chen Sun suppressed the darkness with a firm will and sealed the black evil in the altar fragments. Chapter 14 Lost Secrets, Ancient Diary, and Forbidden Doors. In the remnants of the Shadow Soul Society, Chen found a dilapidated diary. The diary records a surprising secret: the shadow of the ghost is not a single existence, but a clone of the ancient god Abyssal Spirit. After the Abyssal Spirit was sealed in the ancient Forbidden Gate, its fragments were scattered in all directions, affecting the yin and yang of the world. And Chen Sun's strange bloodline is actually part of the Abyssal Spirit bloodline. He must find the Forbidden Gate and prevent the Abyssal Spirit from fully reviving, or the entire world will be destroyed. Chapter 15 Embarking on a Journey, The Call of the Gate of the Other World. With the diary and the seal, Chen Sun and Zheng Yu set off for the location of the Forbidden Gate, the Valley Jedi. Along the way, they were attacked by strange creatures and even met a traveler from another world, Sol Li, who had the ability to travel through time and was willing to assist Chen Sun. The trio forms a bizarre team to navigate through perilous terrain and explore the forbidden doors deep in the valley. However, in the valley, time and space are distorted, and the blurred light and shadow are like dreams, hiding countless traps and illusions. Chapter 16 The Crack in the Other World, The Appearance of the Phantom of Time and Space. Deep in the valley, the forbidden door gradually emerged. When Chen Sun touched the door, he was suddenly sucked in strongly and passed through the cracks in time and space. He enters a bizarre fantasy world, facing images of his past, present, and future. In the vision, he saw the figure of his previous life, an ancient hero who had fought against the spirit of the abyss. He deeply realized the true meaning of the strange bloodline, not just a curse, but a responsibility to protect the world. Chapter 17, The Final Battle, The Decisive Battle to Seal the Abyssal Spirit. The illusion dissipated, and Chen Sun, Sol Li and Zheng Yu joined forces to finally reach the forbidden door. The Abyssal Spirit was ready to move, and the fragments of the nether shadow gathered into a terrifying giant shadow, trying to break through the seal. A heavenly and earth-shaking battle broke out, and Chen Sun used the ultimate magic circle that fused the power of light and shadow to confront the Abyssal Spirit giant shadow head-on. Sol Li used the power of time and space to support, and Zheng Yu served as a backup battle. In the end, Chen Sun successfully sealed the Abyss Spirit with the power of blood and firm belief, and once again guarded the peace of the world. Chapter 18, Freedom from Fate, The Glorious Future of the Eldest Grandson. After the war, Chen Sun's strange bloodline turned from a curse to a blessing. The village comes back to life and he becomes the new guardian. Sol Li stayed as an ally, and Zheng Yu decided to stay in the village to continue to protect his home. Chen Sun looked into the distance, and the corners of his mouth raised slightly. Strange fate, it is fate, but also a mission. A legend of blood and light finally ushered in his dawn. Chapter 19 Light and shadow are intertwined, and the truth of destiny is revealed. After sealing the Yuan Ling, Chen Sun returned to the village, but found that his body began to change. The shadow seal on his wrist was no longer just a dark red, but had a mysterious light. His grandmother told him that the real secret of the strange bloodline was that the ancestors had fused with the spiritual energy of heaven and earth, which contained the most primitive yin and yang power between heaven and earth. This power is not a single curse, but a source that can change the world. And he is the bearer and guardian of this power. Chapter 20 Reversing Fate, The Awakening of the Power of Deception. Chen Sun began to practice hard, trying to control the yin and yang forces in his bloodline. In a sudden spiritual vein riot, he broke through his limits and was able to transform the power of shadows into healing and shelter energy. The people in the village all felt this unprecedented peace. At the same time, Chen Sun sensed a vision further away with the power of deception. A new dark force was quietly rising. Chapter 21 Dark Rebirth, The Prelude to the Invasion of Foreign Races. In the wilderness outside the village, a group of mysterious creatures from distant alien races gather. They are controlled by dark magic in an attempt to seize the despicable power in Chen Sun's body to revive the long-extinct Dark Empire. Chen Sun, Sol Li and Zheng Yu joined forces again to launch defense and counterattack. Fierce battles unfolded one after another, and Chen Sun realized that only by fully fusing the power of deception could he resist this alien threat. Chapter 22 The Ultimate Fusion, the embodiment of heaven and earth yin and yang. After countless tests of life and death, Chen Sun finally completed the fusion of yin and yang forces and became the embodiment of yin and yang in heaven and earth. His power is so powerful that he can tear through time and space and change reality. He led the villagers and allies to repel the alien invasion and seal the otherworldly rift. The village became an immortal line of defense, guarding the peace of the world. Underscore 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 on. Chapter 23 Returning to the Ordinary, the continuation of the road of protection. After the war, Chen Sun chose to return to ordinary life. He established the mysterious Guardian Society to train a new generation of guardians. The village becomes a sacred place filled with spiritual energy, attracting practitioners from all sides. Although Chen Sun is no longer in charge of power, his spirit and belief have become a beacon for everyone. Underscore 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 on. The ending is beyond fate, the light of freedom. Chen Sun stood on the top of the mountain in his hometown, the sunset reflecting his back. He recalled the ups and downs along the way, from a cursed teenager to a hero who guarded the heavens and the earth. Deception is no longer a bondage, but a choice. He whispered. His story will turn into a legend, inspiring everyone in the future to bravely face fate and create their own brilliance. Underscore 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 on. Postscript. A journey that starts with the eerie and extends to the light. Chen Sun used perseverance and wisdom to break the shackles of fate and demonstrate the power of freedom. In this world intertwined with yin and yang, light and darkness, every ordinary person has the opportunity to become an extraordinary guardian. May this story bring you courage and hope to face every shadow and fog in life.